Can you tell me the positives and negatives when going out of house to plan your control room? Start with you, Jeremy.
I only had one opportunity to do this. I wanted to do it right. For us, we had $8 million. I had $8 million, not $8 million and $1. I had $8 million. So I needed someone to blame when something was forgotten. No. The biggest part is if I had to do it again, I would use a consultant. Why? It's because he is my go-to guy. That's the guy that's going to have, if he doesn't have the answers to my questions, he knows the contacts, those people to get a hold of. Now, but the thing is you also got to understand that there's so much going on in this project that you got to have one person that can write the RFP to the language that's required for your situation, that knows what other projects are going on, that knows the ins and out of integration. That was the biggest thing is, when I say we have 4.6 in integration, I think we probably got closer to 6 mil in equipment, but we were able to get better purchasing because of going through a consultant and grouping things together. Getting 16, 15 schools to agree on all buying the same camera equipment is not going to happen. But what you can do is get lucky and fortunate enough to know, they know they're in the environment daily, and they know what else is going on there outside of our own little campuses and our own little worlds.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and just the economies of scale you get by working with consultants as far as group purchasing power, and also just it helps to kind of have a baseline point to start at as far as equipment lists and things like that go. I mean, as consultants have done more and more of these types of projects, there is kind of a, you're not starting from zero, you're starting from kind of a general set of equipment and standards that are, required for this sort of work. That being said, no one knows your situation better than you. A consultant to me is a great starting place for equipment lists and for the build out, but many times throughout the process, we had to kind of put our foot down and say, no, we're not cutting this corner. We're not getting rid of this camera. We're not putting 12 strands of fiber to this venue or whatever it may be. Just not specific examples, but because we do have situations where we need this many cameras, or we have, we are going to need to do sports or to cover sports at this venue. So I would say, make sure you know what's right for your situation and for your venues and for your university, and don't deviate from that, from things that you have to get.
Kelly, you worked with the consultant at Pitt. Was it a good or bad experience, and what was the biggest lesson you learned from it?
I would 100% agree with both of these guys. If we were going to do it again, we would absolutely hire a consultant, especially because of the RFP process. At Pitt, no one had been through this type of project for the ACC Network before. Our facilities management team at the university had never done something like this. Obviously, our department had never been through it. And so having a consultant who could help us to write that RFP and that initial equipment list was really important to us. Like Slammer's saying, going through that equipment list and having somebody who can come to you initially and say, here are the things that you want to think about, was really important. We spent a lot of time with our consultant going through that equipment list and really honing it. But then once it went out to bid and we got our best and finals back from manufacturers, that equipment list changed a lot. And so depending on what is acceptable at your university and what works for you budgetarily, I think we spent as much time with best and finals and going back with the manufacturers and reworking that equipment list as we did on the initial equipment list that we put out to bid. So just understanding that once you go through it one time to get your bid ready, you're probably going to go through it a couple more times once you get bids back in, so you can try to get the best bang for your buck based on those bids.